Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name's Amy. I'm an ordained minister, and we're in Bible study. We are in the NIV, and we will be through the end of 2025. In this video, we're in Exodus. We are in chapter 38, and we're going to do all of chapter 38, which takes us to verse 31. So let's jump in. The altar of burnt offering. They built, it's just as a group, they built an altar of burnt offering of acacia wood, 3 cubits high, E, that is about 4.5 feet or 1.3 meters. It was square, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. So that's about 7.5 feet or 2.3 meters long and wide. They made a horn at each of the 4 corners so that the horns and the altar were one piece. And they overlaid the altar with bronze. They made all its utensils of bronze, its pots, shovels, sprinkling bowls, meat forks, and fry pans. They made a grating for the altar. That makes sense. A bronze network. It is to be under its ledge, halfway up the altar. Okay, so they could stack the burnables. I would have to mention wood at this point in history. It's probably all wood, but plant materials or anything of that nature. As opposed to like today, like if you think of it like a barbecue grill, we could put other things in there. But same effect, just they want to burn it until it's entirely gone into an ash, unlike what we usually do. They cast bronze rings to hold the poles for the 4 corners of the bronze grating. They made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. They inserted the poles into the rings so that they would be on the sides of the altar for carrying it. They made it hollow out of boards. Yeah, I get it. Because they have to be able to stack again the burning materials. Basin for washing. They made a bronze basin and its bronze stand from the mirrors of the women who served at the entrance to the tent of meeting. So that's who donated those materials. The courtyard. Next, they made the courtyard. The south side was 100 cubits long. So, G. That is about 150 feet or 46 meters long, and had curtains of freshly twisted linen, with 20 posts and 20 bronze bases, with silver hooks and bands on the post. The north side was also 100 cubits long and had 20 posts and 20 bronze braces with silver hooks and bands on the posts. So that's okay. The west end was 50 cubits 50 cubits wide, and had curtains. It's the little tiny H there. It threw me off because in my industry, H is high. That is about 75 feet or 23 meters. I almost can't help it. And had curtains with 10 posts and 10 bases with silver hooks and bands on the posts. The east end towards the sunrise was also 50 cubits wide. Curtains, 15 cubits. Okay, now we got I. That is about 22.5 feet or 6.9 meters long, were on one side of the entrance with 3 posts and 3 bases, and the curtains, 15 cubits long, were on the other side of the entrance to the courtyard with the 3 posts and the 3 bases. All the curtains around the courtyard were of finely twisted linen. The bases for the posts were bronze. The hooks and the bands on the posts were silver, and their tops were overlaid with silver, so that all the posts of the courtyard had silver bands. The curtains for the entrance to the courtyard was of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and finely twisted linen, the work of an embroiderer. It was 20 cubits long. I'm going to footnote. Okay, that is about 30 feet or 9 meters. Like the curtains of the courtyard. 5 cubits, that is about 7.5 feet or 2.3 meters high, with 4 posts and 4 bronze bases. Their hooks and bands were silver, and their tops were overlaid with silver, and all the tent pegs of the tabernacle and all of the surrounding courtyard were bronze. So it's the same kind of foot base that they're talking about, same kind of locking into place, just different materials and different dimensions. The materials used. These are the amounts of materials used for the tabernacle. The tabernacle of the testimony, which were recorded at Moses' command by the Levites under the direction of Ithamar, son of Aaron, the priest. Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made everything to the Lord had commanded Moses. And with him, Aholahab, son of, Ahisamah. Aholahab, son of Ahisamah, of the tribe of Dan, a craftsman and designer, and an embroiderer in blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and fine linen. The total amount of gold from the wave offerings, which really is literally like you take the thing and you wave it, and then now it belongs to the Lord because you waved it in front of them. The wave offering used for the work on the sanctuary was 29 talents and 730 shekels. The weight of gold was a little over 1 ton, about 1 metric ton of gold in a wave offering. That's amazing. Because they only had so many types of offerings, okay? So they didn't want to set it on fire till it was gone, so it couldn't be a burnt offering. According to the sanctuary shekel, which they have predefined. The silver obtained from those of the community who were counted in the census was 100 talents and 1.7, or is that 1,000? I think that's 1,000. Yeah, 1,775 shekels. B. The weight of the silver was a little over 3 3/4 tons, or 3.4 metric tons. That's a lot of silver. Wow. 1 becca per person. That is half a shekel, according to the sanctuary shekel. And then I get a C with a footnote. That is about 1/5 of an ounce, or 5.5 grams. According to the sanctuary shekel, from everyone who had crossed over to those counted 20 years old or more, a total of 603,550 men. And the 100 talents, I've got a thing, a footnote of D. What the heck is it? There we go. Well, that is about 3 3/4 tons. Again, or about, no, sorry, let's see. Oh, no, I'm looking at the words. Yeah, that's about 3 3/4 tons, or about 3.4 metric tons of talents of silver were used to cast the bases for the sanctuary and for the curtains. 100 basins from the 100 talents, 1 talent for each base. Okay, they used the 1,775 shekels. I'm going to say according to the sanctuary. That is about 45 pounds. or 20 kilograms, to make the hooks for the posts, to overlay the tops of the posts, and to make their bands. The bronze from the wave offering was 70 talents and 240 shekels. The weight of the bronze was about 2.5 tons or 2.4 metric tons. They used it to make the bases for the entrance to the tent of meeting, the bronze altar with its bronze grating and all the utensils, the bases for the surrounding courtyard, and for those to the entrance, and all the tent pegs for the tabernacle and for those surrounding the courtyard. And that would make sense. You wouldn't really want the grating inside the burnt offering place to be gold and silver. The amount of heat needed for them to be burning like bone and all is really high. It's really high, unless they were removing the bones and then putting them someplace else. It's a very high amount of heat that you're going to need, and gold and silver is going to melt too fast. Whereas for bronze, I mean, like I said, I have a censer over here. It's bronze, and I can put a hot coal, because I got a quick. For the incense, that's what you get. You get quick light little charcoal discs, and I can set that on fire. You know, get it all good burning coal. You know, red hot fire, and drop it right in there and let it burn. Dump the incense on top, and it'll just burn, and it'll burn itself out. When the oxygen is gone or the fuel's gone, it just, like, it doesn't ever burn through the bottom. Or now it's going to have to be a certain thickness. The hotter you want it to be, the thicker the metal needs to be, so it doesn't melt so fast. If it's going to get too hot, then you have to start switching materials to compensate instead. So until the next video, friends.